A lot of people are choosing sexual abstinence nowadays, especially women. And to be honest, that's a great thing, except some men don't feel great about it. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today, we'll be talking about sexual abstinence and of course the main juice, which is some of the unspoken problems some women face when they decide to abstain from sexual activities, and also what you should do as a lady if you face any of these problems. So get a pen and a paper and be ready to jot things down. Let's get right into it. So before we get into the problems, I would like us to know what abstinence as a whole is. Abstinence is simply a choice made by an individual to stay away from certain actions or activities, usually temporary or long term, with an end goal in mind. Yes, with an end goal in mind. Abstinence could be deciding to stay away from substance use, or also in this context we'll be talking about sexual activities. Okay, let me quote you an example. I may decide that I do not want to partake in sexual activities until I am married. The end goal is marriage before I partake in sex or sexual activities. And most of the times, abstinence is usually interused with celibacy. Abstinence could be abstaining from anything, not just sexual activities. But with celibacy, you will hear celibacy only in the context of sexual activities. And with celibacy, it's a commitment you are making. It's like a lifestyle and it's mostly practiced by religious, even though some individuals decide to partake in this celibate journey. But from the origin, if you look it up from the origin, it's practiced by mostly religious. And also, I'll give you one take back. A major difference: all celibates practice abstinence, all, but not all those who practice abstinence are celibate. Hope that was clear. All celibates practice sexual abstinence, but not all those who practice sexual abstinence are celibates. Hope you're taking down notes. Away from that, we're talking about abstinence. So there are several reasons why people will choose to abstain from sexual activities. You have reasons like maybe underlying health issues. Some people might be suffering from certain sexually transmitted diseases and doctors' advice abstinence is the best way. Or some people will undergo a certain type of heartbreak that will make them rethink their life choices. They'll be like, nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. For some people, sexual activities might be a form of distraction that they need to put aside to focus on achieving a certain goal, maybe academics or maybe spiritual growth. And for some others, sexual abstinence is a way of self-discipline and personal growth too. So these are the various reasons why people will choose to partake in sexual abstinence. So I've noticed a lot of women nowadays are really entering into this sexual abstinence thing as a form of power. Yes, you don't just give your body out because it's your body, you can give it out. And they are not giving it out because, oh, I'm with you, you own me. No, I'm with you. I decide when to give you my body. I decide, you work on my own terms. Yes, this is the power movement a lot of women are getting into now. And also, some see it as a form of self-discipline. If you can control your sexual urges, you'll be unstoppable. Yes, there's a lot of things that go down when it comes to sexual activities. When it comes to being intimate with someone, there's a lot that goes down. And a lot of women are saying that it's more disadvantageous than advantageous to them. So they are deciding to keep their bodies to themselves. They are deciding to not deal with other stuff anymore. In as much as I would like to applaud the women who have decided to take this step, some men are not happy about it. They are not. And there's also emotional conflict. Some of these women are battling within themselves for taking this action. And now we are moving to the problem. We have the surface problem, the deep problem, and the emotional problem. Now let's look at the surface problem. Taking this decision comes with a lot of mockery and discouragement that is not spoken about. You might tell a friend, oh, I've decided to embark on an abstinent journey because I want to do this, I want to do that. And this friend will tell you, which holier than thou attitude are you trying to give to us? You are not capable. You are not able of doing this. You are not as strong as you think. Society will be like, why are you trying to prove a point? Why are you trying to do this? It's not worth it. So those who are doing it, are they like, it's a lot. It's a lot. The pressure is a lot, guys. And this journey might be even more difficult for some of these ladies who have been labeled promiscuous or have once lived a promiscuous life and are trying to like reset. Society now begins to like drag you for this decision you have taken. Why? Because of the person they knew you to be in the past, and you are trying to take a leap of faith or a new life, and it just doesn't sit right. It just doesn't sit right with them. So you'll be discouraged. Most of them are discouraged, mocked for taking this action. Now let's talk about the emotional problems that are not really spoken about. There's confusion. Most of these women are confused because society has made normal what is not normal, and then there's them struggling to believe or to live their truth. They are struggling to balance society's expectations and the truth they want to live. So it's just overwhelming for them. And there's also self-doubt. A lot of self-doubt comes with this. Sometimes they say to themselves, will I be able to push through this journey? Do I have what it takes to go through this journey? There's them trying to silence the outside noise and trying to actually live what they believe. It's not easy. Now, one of the reasons why some men feel threatened by this action is because for some men, sex doesn't only make them feel desired, it makes them feel wanted, it makes them feel chosen, and it makes them think they are winning. So when you remove sexual intimacy from the equation, it demands a lot of emotional intimacy, which some men are not willing to take. Especially insecure men do not want to deal with all that emotional intimacy. They like to feel like, okay, yes, she's having sex with me, she wants me, she's choosing me, she desires me, and I'm winning. But once you take out sex from the equation, they will not want to connect deeper than that. And that's why it doesn't work with some of them. They start trolling you for your decision. Another reason is it forces intention. Men who are unsure, unserious, or just dating for vibes get exposed easily because taking away sex from the equation forces them to communicate clearly. It forces them to be patient with you until you are grounded enough or you are seeing that they are worth you giving your body to. And it also forces them to be consistent. And you cannot be consistent with something you don't like or you are just using to pass time. So that's why I tend to not agree much with women who have chosen to be sexually abstinent. Another reason why some men feel threatened about this decision is because of what we call the Madonna-Whore complex. So let me explain. So men have been programmed, or let me say raised, to categorize women into two, which is the Madonnas and the whores. I think I've spoken about this in one of my videos, talking about why men marry good girls and still cheat with whores. So let's get back to the Madonna-Whore complex. So with the Madonna-Whore complex, women are divided into two in the minds of men: the whores and the Madonnas. Okay, for the whores, there are those who are known to be living a promiscuous life or a wild life. Men call them the whores. And for the Madonnas, there are women who are still virgins, who are well reserved, don't live wild and stuff like that. Hope you understand. So in a man's mind, you are either a virgin or you are not a virgin. There's no in between. There's no in between. So once you start telling them, oh, I am not a virgin, but this is the journey I am embarking on, they don't hear this is the journey I am embarking on. All they hear is I am not a virgin. Full stop. So to them, you're either a virgin or you're not a virgin. So once you start talking about sexual abstinence, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense to them because there's no in between. It's either you are a virgin or you are not a virgin. It's either this is white or it is black, not gray. Choose where you stand. The next reason why men feel threatened by this action will be because it actually filters out the men who are just after your body and keeps those who are genuinely interested in you. Abstinence is like a filter in this case. It filters emotionally immature men, men who are manipulators, and men who are just there to pass time. The unserious men don't have that time to waste. They're not patient like that to wait for you till you are ready or maybe marriage or something. They don't have that time. Manipulators lose interest. Emotionally immature men, they become restless. Manipulators know there's no way I'm talking this lady out of this decision. There's no way because you've stood your ground. It's not something you're willing to compromise. It's a value you hold dear. So they start disappearing one by one. And that's why this decision doesn't really sit right with some men. Now, the last reason why some men feel threatened is they know the power sex has over women emotionally. They know. And once a woman who has removed sex from the equation, you start thinking clearer, you detach quicker, you move slower, you observe more, and you don't chase, or rather waiting to be chosen. You don't chase, and men cannot sit with this. It doesn't even sit right with them. They cannot withstand this kind of power flipped. So they tend to throw women or backlash women who have decided to embark on this abstinent journey. But the truth is, sexual abstinence isn't really a problem for a man who is emotionally regulated, a man who is confident, who doesn't need sex as a form of validation in his relationship, a man who is intentional about his relationship. It's not a problem to him. But you see those manipulators, the emotionally immature, the unserious ones, the ones who just want to pass time, yes, they're the ones who have serious issues with women who have made this decision for themselves. Now, let's get into the solution, like what you should do if you come across this type of men or you face this kind of problem. The first thing is you should identify the red flags. So the red flags will be maybe pressure or guilt tripping. If a man is constantly pressuring you into having sexual intimacy with him, that's a red flag. If he constantly guilt trips you for taking this action and makes it about him, it's a red flag. Things like, you are starving me, or for how long am I going to wait, or what do you want to achieve at the end of this? He's trying to guilt trip you, and that's a red flag. You should also learn how to respond without over-explaining. You see your boundaries. You don't have to over-explain your boundaries. If you have to over-explain your boundaries, then it's not a boundary. It's not tight enough. If he's constantly trying to cross that boundary you've placed, what you do is you detach. You exit quietly. You leave him there. Yes. Your boundary should be strong enough. You don't have to over-explain. You don't have to over-remind him that this is what I don't want, this is what I don't want, this is what I don't like. I'm not doing this until this. No room for over-explanation. He knows. You already told him. So if he's not struggling to cross those boundaries, or he's not willing to respect the boundary you've put in place, you detach. You exit. And the last thing I'll advise you to do is know how to protect your values and your beliefs. You see, self-trust is very important. It's very important. Learn to trust yourself more. Say you can do this, you will do this, and you will do it. Don't let outside noise try to sway your mind away or deviate you from what you believe in. Stand on your beliefs. Stand firm on your beliefs and trust yourself more. And you see your values. There's no room for negotiation. You are not negotiating it with anybody if it's something that you hold dear. Yes. You can voice it out once. Yes, that this is something I hold dear. But the moment you start voicing it out all the time, that is something you hold dear, a man will see it as something that, okay, it can be negotiated upon. For example, you tell a man, oh, I really like you, but I can't have sex with you until marriage. What he hears is, you can have sex, but until you are married. And what he will do is, he will tell you, okay, let's have sex, and I will marry you. He has really negotiated your value with you, and with the right pressure and incentive, you will give in. So there's no room for negotiating your values. hold your values dear, hold them tight, like your life depends on it, because your life actually depends on those values you hold dear. So there's no room for negotiating your values. So guys, we've come to the end of this amazing video, and I hope this video was helpful. And please don't forget to share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And if you're new here, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.